Hola, ¿cómo están ustedes? Hey, good evening, or whenever you're watching this. Hey, it's Senior Anderson, Mike Anderson, and I'm just wanting to make a quick video here for you to let you know how it is set up for our classroom, for the students, because after having some parent conferences virtually, I was able to discover that some parents had not been told, and maybe the parents are able to ask their own kids, and maybe that's working out. But I know for some, for sure, they're like not too sure on how to navigate everything. And I don't know if you all have had a chance to look at the tech links, but the main thing is twofold. One, the grades. I think you can see everything that's on my screen right now. So the grades are in SIS, SIS, and it's .bths201.org, and you'll see this pop up. Then you need to go to the parent spot right here, and the students already know how to do this. Probably you do too. Maybe you don't though. And the students go there and they use their username and their login to log in. And you as a parent have a separate username and a separate password. And probably talking to our tech department on the phone would be a good help to you, and or emailing and letting them know, hey, I don't know what the password is. Or if you finally, you have that information, but you didn't know where to plug it in, it's right here. So put it there with your username here, and then your password, and then hit login, and you'll see all of the grades for all of your classes of your students that you have in your house. Okay, and the other thing is our classroom page. And our classroom page looks like this. So each of the classes that your student is enrolled in has some kind of a Google page or some other kind of Schoology or whatever it might be. This is mine. So I'm enrolled in a few, but I also teach all these here. So for second hour, I click into there. And by the way, you can kind of see here what all is going to be coming up, what all is going to be due, and what they will need to do. So you can kind of see, and they can see what it is it's due. Like for Tuesday, this thing's due. For Monday, this thing's due. And those classes are pretty much the same. They're my second year classes. My first year classes are over here. And so we're seeing the song sheet is due and the Voces activities. Okay. So once you get into those, then it's talking about, okay, here it is. Here's the link to do a Google Meet. And this is the way I can do a one-on-one. And this is the way I did the classroom class meets that we had early on. And that's where students could get on and click in and be able to connect with us there. So a few things to know about this. Stream. Everything posts to stream. So that's the important part. Everything posts to stream. Even the non-assignment things that we send out. For instance, this one here, I had sent out yesterday. Happy Wednesday. Here's a link if you want to contribute to this, and look at these things. So they're not assignments, but they're announcements, or maybe they are assignments, but they don't have some box to check that says, hey, I did it. In that case, after you look through the whole stream, you'll see these things that have this symbol right here that looks like a clipboard, right? So that's the actual assignment. And you can click there, and the students know how to do this. You can click there, and this is what we're doing in second year, and that's what the students needed to be doing today. Here's what we started in class. Read it, open up the document, which is this, and then do the questions, which is right there. And then there's a link or a little button that says turn in when complete or something like that on the student end. And so, you can see the next one and so on. Or the student can go up here to the classwork tab. And once the classwork tab is pressed, then all assignments for that class are right here. And some of them are categorized. I like to categorize all mine. Culture credit, that's something that's due at the end of the triad, November 5th. And November 6th, by the way. So that's something that's going to be real important right here is culture credit. Make sure that they're getting that worked on. And there's the sheet, and they can see what the sheet is. So far, nobody's turned it in because they've all been assigned and nobody's turned it in yet, but that's okay. We still have time. And if we go again back to the classwork here, or the stream, there we go, the classwork, sorry. Then we'll see the other things. We've got preterite past tense. We have class information like the guidelines and their birthdays, so they can get 5 extra credit points on their birthday month. Okay, and then the book that we did, the Nuevo Houdini, and all the stuff that was associated with that. You can click view more and see that. Feedback, those were forms that they did early on for me. The review activities, and the songs that we're doing. Right now in second year, we're doing this song, which is called Andas en mi cabeza, and those are the directions. We can click on View Assignment, and then it takes us to the actual instructions right here. And then there's a link after they listen to this and they open this up. And once they open it up, then they're supposed to type on it. And once they type on it, and they may need to actually open it up with Google Docs, so they can do that. They can open it up with Google Docs right there, and it'll open, because that was actually a Word document. So when they do that, this is what happens. It pops up like this, and they can type on it. Now, they don't need to do this for this assignment. As I said, actually in the post itself, they don't need to do it. You know why? Because I've already got them with a copy in class. That did not turn out very well, so I don't recommend that action, I guess, for that. But there is something that does convert, and your students know this. They're pretty tech savvy, at least a lot of them are, I found, and they told me some things. Like there's a program out there that will take a PDF and convert that, or maybe it even takes these Word documents, I'm not sure, and they convert it into something that they can type on. So check with them, and we'll kind of check around, and hopefully we can come up with something that'll work. But again, this is really more a PDF. It's just to view. So here's the song. Here's the song sheet, and they got this in class yesterday and today, and we're filling this stuff in class and turning it in class, so they don't really need to be able to type on this. So the assignment is there. Directions were a little different on this one, and they'll be kind of like that going forward for the rest of the semester. Okay, so that's kind of in a nutshell what's happening there. They can also see the other people who are in the class, so that's listed there under the People tab, okay, which is right here. All right, and last but not least is the Meet. There's a Meet opportunity for people, and all of you that wanted to or were able to get the link, were able to schedule a Meet with me, and hopefully a bunch of your teachers if you wanted to do that and take advantage of that. Okay, our first year students, and soon our second year students, but our first year students are taking good advantage of this Voces Digital, Voces Digital, which is the online resource that we use for French and Spanish classes here at East. And I don't think the German classes do it. So we log in, and it's kind of a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be 4. They have to use their school account, 4, and their school email account, right? And 5. So it's kind of a 5-click process to get in. And then once in, the book pops up. And then when the book pops up, it goes to the last page that the student was on. So right now we're in Capítulo 2, Guatemala. So aquí está la lista de vocabulario. Here is the list of vocab. And we're studying about the classroom items in particular. So we're in Capítulo 2, and over here on the left-hand side is Capítulo 2. And they log in right there, and they click on this. And then from there, they scroll down to where they need to go. So here's the lista de vocabulario right here, and we're already on that, and it pops up. And then they can click on each word. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear it. It's actually saying the word.
El reloj.
For us. And then, they go through the vocab, and there's a lot. So we're doing 10 at a time, and it's like 20 a week kind of thing. So we're kind of chunking it, making it manageable, speaking in Spanish, speaking a little bit in English, each day, and helping them feel confident about learning the vocab through the different activities. So we've done several, and they've been posted for them, and they can look at that. They kind of got slammed with 7. I didn't realize every single page counts as a separate assignment when it assigns it to Google Classroom. So I explained that in another video that I made for them. And then I also explain it in our Hangouts. We've got Google Hangouts, and that's really a great way to communicate. So if we're looking here at Google Hangouts, then we can kind of see what is available and who I've already corresponded with individually. And then I've got classes set up. So I've got 6th hour. All my 6th hour students are on that particular one. All my 5th hour are on this. All my 2nd hour. All my different hours. So they're all on one text. It's kind of like the Remind text system that we used. So we've got information and a way to give it to the students. So that's telling me I have a conference here in a few minutes. Let me double check something here. Okay, I'm fine. So that's a great way for the students to what we call Hangout, Google Hangout. It's a place that they can go that we can do a video or we can do an audio. and they can show me a screen, and maybe if there's a tech issue, I can maybe walk them through it or show them what it's supposed to look like and that kind of thing. They just have to click on this right there where it says video call. And once they click on that, then it's going to be really easy for them and me to connect. And once we do that, we can talk it out, work it out, and be finished. Or it's just a chat program, so we can go back and forth on chatting and say, hey, this is working, or hey, it's not working, and so on. So I can just type right here, and they receive it on their end. Now, where do they get it? It's one of two places. It's either on their email page. Google Hangouts is on their email page, or they can get the Chrome extension, and that is right up here. And once they get that Chrome extension, then it can pop up in a box like this. Otherwise, it pops up in their email on their Gmail account for school, like somewhere on the bottom left, I think. So that's a great way to kind of communicate there. Also through the Classroom page itself. If they have a question about, like from the very first day, I asked them to fill out this thing and go back and forth. And so if they have a question or something, I'll just take a student that I didn't say anything to, and I could say, okay, hey, by the way, and she's new on this class, by the way, I could type something here, testing out, hey, where is this assignment, and whatever, I want. And then I hit the arrow, and it sends it as a message. Now, it sends it to an email, and it also sends a notification. So I reminded students again today, make sure your notifications are turned on for your email and for Classroom. So if they're not turned on, they're not getting things. Or if they're not checking email, then they're not getting the communication. And it's interesting, some students found that they can comment and they can get that message to me, but then they don't see my response. And so what I've said to them, I said, where are you checking? I mean, there's got to be some place that you're supposed to be checking. Well, yeah, sure. It's in your email, right? So it's in the email itself. And if it's not there, then it's back on the Classroom notifications. So they need to be checking the emails. They need to be checking the Classroom notifications. And if they're not, then they are going to be missing out on that communication. Okay. Well, I know that's a big overview of everything, but I hope it really helps kind of give you an idea and a confidence builder of what's going on. Assignments are also up here, but I think in general, you've got the idea. And, I'm willing to take questions at some point if you still have any. But if you don't, that's okay too. Hope this wasn't too long. I'm sure it was, certainly longer than I was hoping, but I hope it's good information for you. And if it's a repeat, because you've already had it from other sources, lo siento, that means I'm sorry. Hey, it's been good talking, and I hope it's going to be a great rest of the semester. By the way, November 6th is the end of the triad. That's a Friday. November 6th is a Friday. And so that's the end of the triad. So I need students to do one more thing before the end of each triad, and that's culture credit. I talked about it near the beginning, and I hope you'll remind your student to do that sometime earlier rather than later. And they're small projects for small points and bigger projects for bigger points. And everybody's got to get 15, and I'm counting it as 20% of the grade for the triad. So I'm hoping that they'll go early on this and not wait till the last minute, because it'll be due the 5th and 6th, the 5th and 6th. That's for the A students and the B students. So triad ends then, 15% is what we're talking about, 15 points, which will turn into 20%. All right, amigos, nos vemos. Hasta la próxima. Buenas noches, buenos días. Hasta luego. We'll talk to you again. Ciao.